ma'am. Awesome.
Thank you again for Tony Pereira performing Murder on the Oregon Express. Oscar Cabrera is a speech and debate competitor for the last 4 years. He has gone to state his freshman year, and he'll be going to state one more time in May. Yeah. Oh, really?
He's gone. I can't find him anywhere. Maybe he was murdered. Well, relax. Maybe. We don't know where he could have gone. We will search and I know someone we can call to help solve the mystery. Yeah. Private Eye! It was a dark night and nobody that knew how to keep its secrets. The Oregons had a case and they knew who to call. Private Eye. Life works in mysterious and complicated ways. For instance, speaking in front of a room full of people, we'd pee our pants. That's why I wear black. Or you're writhing in pain, laying down on your kitchen floor, covered in your morning tricks, and before you realize it, you're in a hospital bed with your appendix missing. Perhaps these rash actions are not our fault, but maybe the fault of the parts that make us. Our brain, our heart, our kidneys. Murder on the Oregon Express by Lewis Sand. Large intestine. Where were you when appendix had gone missing? Murdered. Yeah, murdered. Stomach, kidneys, please. Large intestine. Well, it was just like any other day. I was ready to get rid of some waste and... Waste, you say? As in appendix? No, as in, poop. All of a sudden, everything went black. When I came to, appendix wasn't there. Ah, yes. I do remember the blackout. Maybe it was created on purpose. But who has the power long enough to do away with appendix? Heart? Why hello, Private Eye. Welcome to my chambers. I was just writing a love poem. It's pretty good, but I don't mean to be vain. Got that sweet talk. Notice anything unusual lately? No. Taking any rest? Stop beating maybe just for a bit? Oh no. Why I couldn't do that? Why, if I stopped beating even for a second, I'd be out in a heartbeat. Where were you when appendix had gone missing? Appendix? I never met the guy. Her claims she didn't know anything. Next, large intestine told me I should talk to liver. Said he was somewhat of a seedy character. Woo! It's bright in here. Who are you? The name's Private Eye. I got a few questions for you, liver. Could you keep it down? Is it about that appendix murderer? Because it wasn't me. And I don't appreciate the vile accusations. Besides, the guy got on my nerves. Got on everyone's practically. High-pitched voice. Dumb questions all the time. But I didn't kill him. And during the blackout? Which one? Intestine. Liver said appendix wasn't too popular around here. Somewhat of being annoying. How'd you feel about him? Well, I loved the little guy. Sure, some of the others didn't like him so much, sure, but once you got to know him, I see. Maybe it was lungs. He's so uptight that he probably couldn't stand appendix. Shh. 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 Private Eye, do come in. Care for a cigar? They're over on the tray. Kia. No, thanks. I don't smoke. Where were you when appendix had gone missing? I I couldn't stand the little fellow just sat there and did not a single thing. Hey, you say, now one function, just sat there poking fun at all the real organs. To think I ever supplied him with oxygen. I see, but I didn't kill him, if that's what you're driving at. This was a tough case. I needed to do some serious thinking. All right, that's enough thinking. Then it finally hit me like a 5-pound kidney stone. I knew who the murderer was, and it was time for the reveal. Welcome, organs. Welcome to my little dinner party. I've gathered you all around here today because I finally found out who murdered Appendix. At first, I suspected Hart. Me? Yeah, you claimed you didn't know him. But after a little digging, I found out you set him blood every day. Well, I have to. It's my job. But you still lied to me. Suspicious. But you're not the killer. Liver! What? You didn't kill him either. Now lungs. You said it yourself. You hated to waste oxygen on Appendix. But I didn't. Murder him? No. What about me? Did I do it? Shut up. He was my friend, and now he's gone. Large intestine. Let me show you something interesting I found. This was taken right before the blackout. Notice Appendix? Notice how red and puffy he is, and did he normally look like that? Why, no, he was white! Yes, red and puffiness is of a condition called appendicitis, a disease that causes unbearable discomfort on the large intestine. The murderer is you, large intestine. What, me? No, you couldn't stand the pain. So you murdered Appendix and got rid of him. No, I really didn't. Oh my, I say murderer. Let's get him. Oh crap. That was all.
There's a ton of games and events going on. There's also plenty of food, concession stand food, cotton candy, and snow cones. Remember, everything is used by tickets. A ticket is $1. There's also games going on behind me. If you do get curious, there's large Jenga, petting zoo. We got a cornhole, and we have a cakewalk. Please enjoy all the events, and thank you again for supporting Fine Arts Festival. We're gonna have a live performance from Brenda Butler performing her solo on the French horn. Thank you again for coming to support the Fine Arts Festival here at MHS. If you are needing the bathroom, and all the bathrooms are by the football field, here by the weight room. There's tons of events going on. We have Paint With Me over here. We also have a ton of events like darts. And we'll have musical performances on the far wall over there with the large podiums.
That's all you're going to do? All right.
There's a concession stand.
Can you tell right there?
Concession stand will actually actually dollars to pay for. But all cotton candy and snow cones, you can use your tickets. All games are you will be using your tickets. Tickets are $1. We'll have another performance for the speech of breakthrough. This is also programmed with poetry selection to the girl who works at Starbucks. I apologize. Is my English teacher told me to write a love poem.
If you need any more colors, just let me know. ¿Estás lista para hacer de estas? Te lo voy a poner.
My English teacher told me to write a love poem. My English teacher told me to write a poem about anything else, but it's especially hard to write a poem about love, especially for teenagers. Since anyone who's ever read Shakespeare in 9th grade English knows we suck at it. The poem selection has every price on the ask people to be possible. Not a poem about love, but not the typical cliche love, definition of it. Living with partners, living with family, and even
You want it blue?
wrestling oneself.
I can give it to you.
So, how do you define love? First and foremost, this speaks to me because the poetry would only be proposed if you know. How do you see the poem to my love poem? My first girlfriend told me she was
What do you want, a cheap?
I told her, I guess you have to fall in love once, and the thing is, I love love. I love glass on, DJTs, other commercials that speak you around Halloween time. I love the color lavender, and even in the shower. I want to write about love because I come from a generation who takes pride in wearing the hearts on my sleeve. But the heart is a symbol for love.
A sticker? Ernie, a sticker.
Don't fall in love with people. You're the best. Always love the great and best. Fall in love with the love and movement. The word about honoring your own. Fall in love with the girl looking at your family. To me, I am the man who also owns my heart.
How did you do that? You can knock it over.
I love my mind.
You go this way. Let's go that way. Good job. Hang on now, David. Hang on. Alright. Put it flat. Put it flat. What are the chances of that? 2 in a row. Same thing. Good job.
Give it to him.
Alright. He's got your stuff right there.
What do you say?
This one more.
Alright. Flat. There you go.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Put it flat. Good job.
Here, you got one more.
Oh, one more.
Stay
Here.
there, Raven.
One more.
Oh, oh. Okay.
This way you want to go that way.
What candy one prize do? Right?
Good job. Okay, he's got your stuff right there.
Here.
Aiden.
Here you go.
What do you say?
Here you go. You're welcome.
There's your sticker.
And then your sticker.
What do you say?
Oh, you can move it whichever side you like.
Alright.
Would you like two candies or two prices?
Wait, hold on.
Good to go. Two candies and a prize. Ready when you are. What kind of sticker would you like, ma'am?
Just find someone to play with.
Okay.
Pick a card.
I'm gonna have to pick
Can I have a ticket?
this one.
Just one ticket. And you get 3 times. And each time you win, you get candy.
I picked this one. You picked that one. Pick your spot. All right.
Now let go. You want to go see who wins?
You ready? Count down with you, okay?
3, 2, 1, go! You want Junior? Say it looks hard. Get it right. This will be my third ticket. I have 8 left.
What do you have there? Yeah, how many tickets do you have?
No, you didn't.
Daniela has like.
How many what? All right.
How many tickets do you have?
Would you like to play? All right. You get 2 rolls if you would stand at the first duct tape there.
We get cool vibes. I'll take your ticket. Got it.
You get your choice of 2 pieces of candy from this bag.
Allie, where are you? You're gonna roll one for me. Okay. You can roll it there. Okay. What's up, Allie? Hi. Hey, Allie, you're gonna roll one for me. Okay, Allie. Nice job, Patty. Not a lot of
Did you want to share?
You want that one? Alright. No, that's good.
Everybody squish, you can wait for the next one. Hey, you want this one? It's like all the side.
I walked to my seat, slipped in my walk, I walked backwards until I started to pull my life. I was resurrected as a mason.
Now you gotta drop them in there. Like try to make it in that cup.
This is the burner. Whatever number you get in the back.
Drop it in there.
So I just put
Oh, no, it's another one.
put my hand in there.
Hey, do you want me to order candy?
Did she get one?
Oh, she did get one. Another one. Try number 3.
She got 2 in this one? Or just 1?
Just one.
Oh, that's
Another
7.
one. Try number 2.
Hold on.
Oh, just 2
job.
pennies. That's what you got.
Hold on, you get 2 more. You told them to lie.
I will do my best to get back to Earth. Just so I can look for you.
What'd you get, Alex?
Every so often.
Wow, look, nothing.
You get another duck until you get the number.
Oh, okay. I was like, you get a thing.
My mother told me.
A 1?
I got one.
Got to do whatever it takes.
You can pick anything from this bag.
So, if you don't see what I said, but down the street from my house and down my floor, where I'm out of starting.
You got another ticket?
You don't want to try the same candy?
Okay. Ready? Eye on the camera.
Where's
Oh, you want to try
I didn't watch it. I didn't see it.
It's in this one, okay? Ready? Set.
That was.
Good job.
Thank you.
I'm in. With this hand? Where she is right here. You said again, right? Like that? That's how you're done. There and then right there. Okay, let's put my hand there. And then your pinky. Don't come back and it's real hard. Oh, I want to play that. And that's my original.
Not bad. I want to read Dostoevsky and Tolstoy and confidently pronounce their names. I want to read every book by every Russian author. I want to read all the classics. The Pulitzer Prize winners, the national bestsellers, the undiscovered contemporaries before their novels turned into movies, before they plastered the face of blockbuster actors on every cover until I'd be too ashamed to buy it. I want to write notes in the margins of pages and write thought-provoking insight, character motives, and plot devices. I want to read every single book on my bookshelf. I will stare at them all until something happens. I will carefully trace the lines of every crease on every bind of every book, looking for a shortcut, a way to read them all at once, because I want to be well-read. I want to be smart. I want to know all the things. I want my brain to be a complex work of art. I want to start now. I want to be well-rounded. I want to start playing violin again. I want to sound beautiful and impressive and technically difficult. I want to relearn how to read music and play Tchaikovsky Symphony No. 4, and I want to see your jaw hit the floor before I even reach the grand finale. My fingers trembling, rough with calluses, but I don't want calluses. I want soft, smooth hands to hold your hands after you fall in love with my undeniable musical talent. I want to be first chair violinist in the LA Philharmonic. I will listen to YouTube videos of classical violin until I am first chair violinist in the LA Philharmonic. I want all of the knowledge spouting from my fingertips, easy as the water drips, when I let my arms hang like scarecrows in the shower. I want the power of now. I want to feel powerful. I want to be strong. I want to be strong and healthy. I want to have a body that says I do 5 a.m. Pilates every weekday. I want to drink chai seeds and loose leaf green tea sweetened with agave nectar. I want to do Bikram yoga and sweat out toxins in 105-degree heat. Man, I want to be hot. I want to be hot and sexy. I will wear leg weights while I sleep until I wake up in peak physical condition. My body, a temple made of concrete, because I want to be strong. I want to write my wrongs like poems, find answers to all of life's problems. Hit them with double Andrade. I want to write witty double Andrade that actually makes sense so people can laugh at my ingenuity. I want to be funny. I want to be hilarious. I want to fill rooms with laughter that have guts bursting faster than a Cracker Barrel feast. I want to be the little lad that loves berries and cream, berries and cream. I want to be David Sedaris reading Sandiland Diaries in a monotone stupor. I want to be Kylie Jenner realizing things. I want to be Nicolas Cage fighting bees in a legendary remake of The Wicker Man. I will emulate the entire history of pop culture until I am the funniest person in a 10-mile radius at any given time, because I want to be hysterical. I want to be incomparable and vast. I want to be boundless and uninhibited, free from inertia and self-doubt. I want to master the practice of acceptance and love. I want the confidence to be everything I never thought I was. I want to be everything I never thought I was. I want to be everything I never was. Thank you.
life in Minneapolis, everything in my life went horribly wrong. My girlfriend wrecked my car, said girlfriend became an ex-girlfriend, and the house I was living in was condemned. It was not a high point in my life. One day, my account balance was negative $536, and I felt all the life just drain out of me because I just couldn't catch a break. The bank recognized that these charges were false and told me that the bank is going to give me all my money back, but it's going to take about a week of processing. I started thinking about how unfair identity theft is, because when somebody steals your identity, they only take the good parts, you know? They don't take the rat trap apartment, or the depression, or the crappy job. And the most dangerous part about it is this person had messed with the most dangerous type of person to exist. A person with limited options and a lot of free time. According to the Federal Trade Commission, roughly 9 million Americans have had their identity stolen each year. Although there are no Clark Kents or Peter Parkers to bust down doors or fly in to save the day, we can believe in bittersweet justice. In reality, investigations are a long, tedious process, and because of this, we can believe in bittersweet justice. A dish best served cold by Tristan Jimerson. And so I decided to start my own investigation, because when somebody steals your identity, they only take the good parts. The last charge that I had made on my own account, a night that I ordered Domino's pizza, and I realized that when I read my credit card number over the phone, the woman at Domino's must have written it down. The woman at Domino's robbed me. And I trusted Domino's. This was one of the most upsetting things that I ever felt in my life, because out of all the things that I thought would betray me, Domino's was not on that list. This felt personal, so I had a suspect. The next day I went to a place called the Green Mill, which was a restaurant where some of the false delivery charges had taken place. And the manager there was really helpful, and he gave me a week's worth of the delivery tickets, and I started digging through them looking for a match. The phone rang and he picked it up and started taking down an order. And then he picks up a piece of paper and starts writing down a phone number and starts waving it back and forth. And I come over and he tells me that on the paper is my credit card number. And the person who stole my credit card is on the other end of that phone. And I look at him and he goes, "What do we do now?" And I say, "Tell him your driver's out sick and that it's pickup only." And so he does. He hangs up and he looks at me and he says, "They'll be here in 15 minutes. And so I grab a newspaper and I sit down in the booth and I pop it up and I sit down for my very first stakeout. And an agonizing 17 minutes later, a car pulls in and I start writing down every detail. A couple hours later, I receive a call from a man who introduced himself as the head of Domino's security. And he was calling to apologize, to know that once I had filed a police report, that Domino's had my back. They had also pulled the hours I wanted and had them waiting at the Domino's shop. The girl who matched the description of the person who came into the Green Mill also worked in the night my identity was stolen. Her employer confirmed her identity, therefore condemning her. So next I asked to see her application after I've copied down this information, so I go home. And I'm in a frenzy, and I search up her email address. And when you do that, you can pull up all the accounts that they have made with that email address. And I realized that I am going crazy. But the thing about going crazy is, you can't stop. And so I opened one of her blogs called 50 Things About Me. And the very first question is, what is my favorite food? She put pizza. And so by the time I'm at the end of this list, I realize that I know more about this woman probably than most of her coworkers and friends. And that this is a real person that I will be sending to jail. But she broke the code. And so I call the cops, and the next day they send out a police officer to take my report. And the fraud report starts out as normal. It's just how much money was stolen, what was stolen, is the bank reimbursing you? And then the last question, almost as an afterthought, was, do you have any additional information which might benefit the case? And I agree. Why, yes, I do. Later on that day, I receive a call from the detective not working on this case. He says that there would be a woman out for this woman's arrest. I tell him that she's going to work tomorrow at Domino's at 5. I asked the detective if I could be there, because I'd done a lot of work on this case, and I kind of wanted to see the look on her face. But he did say that was impossible. He did say, however, that if I happened to be standing across the street at around 5 o'clock, that no one would be the wiser. So I got to go undercover one last time, and I found myself standing across the street from that Domino's at 5 o'clock, and they handcuffed her, put her in the back of the squad car, and they drove away. Case closed. But then a couple hours later, I received one of the most surreal phone calls I have ever gotten in my entire life. The man on the other end of the line introduced himself as the CEO of Domino's, and he was calling to personally apologize. And he asked me what I wanted. And up until this point, I hadn't really thought about what I wanted. I told him that I wanted him to pursue this to the furthest extent of the law, and that every new Domino's employee that gets hired would hear this story. That if you mess with the credit card information of customers, that you will go to jail. And he said that he could do that. And later, I received 2 letters in the mail. The first was a letter that said the woman had pleaded guilty to all charges, and the second was a personal thank you letter from the CEO of Domino's for the exact amount of money stolen and 500 Domino's bucks. And I realized that I did get everything back that was stolen. The money, yes. But for that week, I wasn't the depressed art student anymore. No, for that week, I was Tristan Jimerson, private eye, the gumshoe that knows that revenge, like delivery pizza, is best served cold.
And the Fine Arts Boosters here at MHS. Next we have a oboe solo from Keelana Burdell. She'll be playing Pink Panther.
Good job.
Booster supporting students here at MHS for the Fine Arts. Next we have Tristan Solalinde performing The Ransom of Red Chief by O. Henry.
It looked like a good thing, but wait till I tell you. We were down south in Alabama, Bill Driscoll and myself, when this kidnapping idea struck us. There was a little town down there called Summit, We selected our victim, the only child of a prominent citizen named Ebenezer Dorset. The father was a respectable, tight, and a stern, upright collection plate passer. The kid was a boy of 10. Bill and me figured that Ebenezer would melt down for a ransom of $2,000. But wait till I tell you. Growing up for me wasn't the easiest because many adults found it hard to deal with my outbursts and insane amount of energy. In 2012, like millions of American children, I was diagnosed with ADHD. What this means is I have a whole lot of energy and a whole lot to say. Just like Red Chief, in the following selection we follow the narrator as he leads us to a hilarious, terribly planned kidnapping scheme involving a little boy known as Red Chief. The Ransom of Red Chief by O. Henry. One evening after sundown, we passed old Dorset's house. The kid was in the street throwing rocks at a kitten at the opposite fence. "Hey, little boy," says Bill. "Would you like a bag of candy and a nice ride?" Bill catches a rock neatly in the eye of a piece of a brick. "That will cost the old man an extra $500. That boy put up a fight like a welterweight cinnamon bear, I kid you not. But at last we got him down and took him up to the cave. Bill was pasting court plaster all over his scratches and bruises, and the boy was watching a pot of boiling water and coffee, with 2 buzzard tail feathers stuck in his red hair. He points his stick at me when I come up and says, "Ha! Cursed paleface! Who dares enter the cave of Red Chief, terror of the plains?" Yeah, he's all right now. I'm old Hank the Trapper, and Red Chief's captive, and I'm to be scalped at daybreak. What? He immediately christened me Snake, the spy, and announced that when his brave returned from the warpath, I was to be rode at the cross at the rising of the sun? Yes, sir, that boy seemed to be having the time of his life. The fun of camping out in the cave had made him forget that he himself was a captive. I thought it best to send a peremptory letter to Old Man Dorset, demanding the ransom and dictating how it should be paid. Dear Ebenezer Dorset, we have your boy concealed in a place far from summits. It is useless for you or the most skillful detectives to attempt to find him. We demand $1,500 in large bills for his return. If you attempt any treachery or fail to comply with their demand as stated, you will never see your boy again. 2 desperate men. Red Chief, would you like to go home? Oh, what for? I don't have any fun at home. I like to camp out, but you won't take me home, will you? Will you? Not right away. We're gonna stay in the cave a while, okay? Oh, right! I never had such fun in my life! Then we had supper and went to bed around 11 o'clock. Just at daybreak, I was awakened by a series of awful screams from Bill. They weren't yells, or howls, or shouts, but terrifying screams, such as women emit when seeing ghosts or caterpillars. I jumped up to see what the matter was. Red Chief was sitting on Bill's chest with a hand curled in Bill's hair, and in the other he had a sharp case knife we used for slicing bacon, and he was industriously and realistically trying to scalp Bill. I got that knife away from the kid, but from that moment forward, Bill's spirit was broken. After breakfast, the kid takes a piece of leather with strings wrapped around it out of his pocket and goes outside the cave unwinding it. What's he up to now? You don't think he's gonna go away, do you? Just then we kind of heard a war cry, such as David would emit when facing the champion Goliath. It was a sling that Red Chief had pulled out of his pocket, and he was whirling it around his head. I dodged, but heard a heavy thud and kind of a sigh from Bill. A rock the size of an egg had just caught Bill behind his left ear. He then fell in the fire across from the frying pan of hot water. I dragged him out and poured cold water on him for half an hour. I went out and caught that boy and shook him until his freckles rattled. I said, if you don't behave, I'm going to take you straight home. You got that? I was only funny. I didn't mean to hurt old Hank. I'll behave, Snake Guy, if you won't send me home. I never camped out before, and I had a pet possum once. Are there any real Indians in these woods? Does the trees moving make the wind blow? What makes your nose so red, Hank? My father has lots of money. Do oxen make any noise? Are the stars hot? I whipped that Walker twice Saturday. I don't like any girls. Why are oranges round? Amos Murray has got like 6 toes. A parrot can talk, but a monkey and a fish can't. How many does it take to get to 12? Dear Two Desperate Men, I received your letter in regard to the ransom you asked for the return of my son, and I hereby make you a counter proposition, which I am inclined to believe you will accept. You bring Johnny home and pay me $250 in cash, and I agree to take him off your hands. You had better come at night, for the neighbors believe he is lost, and I couldn't be responsible for what they would do to someone they saw bringing him back. Very respectfully, Ebenezer Dorset. It was just 12 o'clock when we took that freckled wildcat home and knocked at Ebenezer's front door. Just at that moment, when I should have been extracting the $2,000 according to the original proposition, Bill was counting out $250 into Dorset's hand.
Fine Arts Festival and the Fine Arts Boosters here at MHS. All proceeds are going to our fine arts students. We have Isaiah Gressa playing Barry. Let's Face the Music and Dance. He'll be the last one on our stage over here, but we will have our seniors performing an ensemble. We have their pictures being posted up as currently. It will be on the large stage. Thank you again so much for your support. It is amazing to see our community come together to support fine arts.
I'm done. Oh, wait, you need this. I'm gonna put it right here. The easiest way.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Before the fiddlers have fled, before they ask us to pay the bill, and while we still have the chance, let's face the music and dance. Soon we'll be without the moon, humming a different tune, and there, before the moonlight has chosen us tonight, let's face the music and dance. Before the fiddlers have fled, before they ask us to come up with the bill, and while we still have the chance, let's face that music and dance.